75% of our business comes from existing clients, but we don't spend enough money on our existing clients. For 43 cents every month, for $5 a year, you can own a client forever. You can create a barrier to entry so that when they need your service, they're not going online and typing in HVAC near me or roofer near me. They're typing in the name of your company. Just doing a little survey after 6 months of reaching a home, if you went into that home and asked them to name a roofer, 9 out of 10 of those people will name the piece that they've gotten for 6 months, and only 3 of those 10 could name another person. So think about how strong that is, so that when they do need your service, they're going to think about you instead of going in and going for a Google search. And then you'll also be able to see through, when you look at your Google searches from there on in, that 9 out of your 10 searches are branded searches where they're using the name of your company, which is obviously what we're looking to do. So by finding the lookalike clients, keeping the zones tight, making the driving efficiency, letting people see your trucks in the same area, putting down yard signs. I hear from a lot of people like, my guys aren't going to put down yard signs. They're just not into it. Well, that's a top-down thing. If your guys aren't putting down yard signs, you need to get up, you need to look in the mirror because it's your fault, because they don't believe in you. But a yard sign that's that client who you just did work for, giving you a badge of honor. That's letting you put their advertising in the front lawn. And then after you do that install, you send out a piece of 75 pieces of mail, personalized, to the left and 75 to the right. So when they look out their window, they see a yard sign, which is your neighbor vouching for you. And that's low-hanging fruit. The lowest hanging fruit is mailing to your existing clients. It's for people who, especially who have multiple products, because you always want to stay in front of people's faces, but cross-selling is just something people don't realize, that you got the roof done, but they don't realize that you do siding 2 years later, or they don't realize that, and they go and they look for somebody else. Own the mailbox, own the home. What else? What is I going to talk about here? A lot of the things that we're talking about with personalization, you can mail to people's homes and put a picture of their home on the card. Hey, Debbie, and with a picture of their home on the card. That's personalization. That's engaging with your client. That's making a difference. It's, like I said, it's not, you can do more business in 10,000 homes than you can do in an entire state. By owning those 10,000 homes, 15,000 homes, 20,000 homes, whatever it is, and not sending your people 3 hours in one direction and 3 hours in another direction. The other thing is it's creating a barrier to entry. Like what we're doing now, and layers are important, obviously, digital, Angie's List, and Home Advisor. Every time you spend $1 into something that's not your own product, you're branding somebody else's product, and you're living off of somebody else's algorithm, and you're living off of somebody else's presence. And until we build our own presence and our own algorithms and our own brands of what we stand for, that's when things turn. Imagine going to a home and not bidding against 6 other people. Imagine when they've gotten your mail 5 months in a row, and 3 months later, your roof leaks, and they go online, and they're specifically looking for you because you bought a customer before you even know you had them. It's like I do some mailings for some renewals, but I get Renewal by Anderson to my house every month, and it's been 3 years. And I knew last year I did my kitchen over, and it cost me whatever, $60,000, and I didn't want to spend $50,000 on windows. But Renewal by Anderson had a job for $50,000 for my house this year in May that I knew I was doing in November, that they had already acquired 6 months ago, but they had no clue that they acquired it because they had acquired me as a client. So there's everything that you can do. It's also, when I talk to a lot of home improvement and home service people, how do you gauge your leads? How do you know what works? And everybody says, well, we got call tracking, and I have it in my Service Titan, or I have it in my Market Sharp. And the fact is that call tracking is a nice little vehicle to let people know that their phone's ringing a few times. But 90% of the people are going to go to your web, they're going to check out your ratings, they're going to look at how you perform, and they're going to call from another number. So there are real ways these days to actually figure out the impact that direct mail will have and how efficient it is. And obviously, and I've had this discussion with Joe, is if you can find a medium that gives you more efficiency, obviously you're going to transfer out of a different medium and move money over to hit that medium. And so you can do what's called a matchback report now, where you give the last 3 months worth of sales, and that those 3 months are now matched back to, did that person receive mail? What type of mail did they receive? When did they receive that mail? When did they become a client? If you're mailing to existing clients, which you should mail to your existing clients every month, unless you're like a windows and doors and you're a one-time thing and maybe you want to do it quarterly, but we'll show you your exact total amount spent on prospects, what they spent on their first visit, what your existing clients spent over those 3 months, what your radius mailers did over those 3 months. And then it allows you now to make educated decisions on, okay, how is this plan working? Is it trending upwards? Should we make adjustments? Should we lower something, spend less money on something and add more money on something else? But I know a lot of people are using EDDM and that's every door direct, and you're not being efficient. You're not being able to eliminate apartments and condos or bad neighborhoods. It's just come such a long way. And
Andrew, we've got some questions, so when we have some for you as well.
Yeah.
No, it's all right. I just want to get some questions in. Yeah, as always, lots of good stuff. Yeah, it's good stuff. All these guys are going to be the sponsors. They're out there. They got nice booths. They're there to talk to you. They may have used some terminology today that was new to you, matchback and look-alike, and who are these people and how does that work? So they can seek them out, talk to them. Okay, we got a question for Brian. Do you believe that sending your customers a thank you gift after a job really helps get you more business? In 30 seconds, Brian, what do you think about that?
Yeah, absolutely it does. Gets you more reviews too, by the way. We pulled a bunch of data. We deal with thousands of customers a month. We pulled data, and the customer that receives a gift is 3.5 times more likely to go online and leave a review where it matters, by the way, like Google. Yes.
All right.
separates that company from the rest of the companies.
Exactly.
Yeah. Again, when you do unexpected things for your clients, you re-engage their brain. When something comes unexpected, let me give you an example of unexpected. I don't know if this person's in the room, but they do bathrooms. I don't know how many people here do bathrooms of some sort or another. It's quite a few. Good. Let me tell you something they did. I thought it was brilliant. And it's hard for me to be impressed that much, but I think it's that good. I'm going to tell you. Just like what Brian said, sending them something unexpected in the mail, the gift, the card, the letter, and their company works with these concepts for fulfillment for you. But here's what they did. They went to a local chocolate company. Most people have a place where you can local, but you can go national and do it very inexpensively. They had some fancy little chocolates made in a really pretty box. I think maybe 4 pieces of chocolate with their logo on them. Not anybody else's. And when the installer finished and walked the client into the bathroom and said, "How do you love it?" Which is the only way to walk somebody into a job, by the way. "What do you think? What do you think? You good? Look good to you? Look good to me." Tell me. Here's my fave, really. I love this. We do this in our presentation at different points, and we do it at installation. Tell me, folks, do you like it or do you love it? Oh, we love it. Great. Well, I got a couple more things to wipe down. They leave the bathroom, and the installer leaves on the edge of the tub, or maybe on a vanity, the pretty little box with the 4 chocolates and the logos on each 4. And whenever one of the homeowners comes in next, "What's this? I didn't know this was chocolate. I love chocolate. Everybody I know loves chocolate. Oh, look at the logo. It's the people did our bath. They're amazing. Michael, I got to tell you, I just bathroom done, honey, and the guys left us chocolate. It was amazing. These guys are special." Every customer gets an unexpected surprise. It delights gifts. It makes them move towards raving fans. Yes! People love it when they get a gift, don't you? All right, we got another question here. Let's jump on Mark. Mark, how does texting? I'll tell you something. Mark, for full disclosure, I do business with two of these three guys. I'm going to do business with him. So when Dave says when he brings the best people in the business together, he does. But I want to tell you something. I've had the pleasure of knowing Mark for a number of years now, and communication is everything, and Mark gets it. But anyway, here's the question, Mark. I could answer this, but I will not, because you are here. No way. How does texting prevent companies from losing appointments, thus ultimately sales, due to lag time involved in chasing leads on the phone? So how does texting prevent companies from losing leads and then sales? Go ahead.
Okay, right now, if I called you or the random person on a phone call, you're very not likely to answer that call. Now, some of you are sales guys, so you may feel obligated to answer the call, but most people don't answer that. So the texting is so different, because just like your friends and family on a weekend, when the weekend comes, you're texting your friends and family, where do you want to go eat? Who's going to make the reservations? What time we're going to be there? That's a personal interaction. That's intimate between friends to friends. So if a company can enter that friend zone, you've done something pretty special. But when you enter it, you have to respect it. So I think that's the answer.
Beautiful. Andrew, here's one for you. Again, we got to keep it down to about a minute, but how do you determine? No, when you get all this tech and cool stuff in your head, it's hard to distill it. How do you determine? Quit laughing over there, man. You're killing me here. How do you determine who and where you should be advertising to so you don't fall victim? This is somebody who's read something about advertising. So you don't fall victim to the spray and pray method. Take it away, Andrew.
So I went into this about a minute ago, but 2 years ago, I met Scott Berman at a Yoho show, and I tried to convince him to do direct mail, and he said direct mail doesn't work. I've done it before. And I said, we do it a little differently. We're going to take your customer base, and we're going to break it down for you, and we're going to show you the people who are where from a 3D and aerial versions. We're going to pen data. And I actually subsidized the mail with Scott, and with the understanding that if I could prove out a difference by doing it this way, by finding clients that are lookalike, that he would go. He went from 25,000 pieces a month to doing 250,000 pieces a month, and on a $200,000 spend over 6 months, did $5 million in revenue from.
So what we're really doing is data analysis. So if you go back to the 90s, I used to mail 100,000 inserts a month. Guess who they went to? Whoever they went to. I don't know. There was a lot of waste, but we didn't have data back then. We didn't know how to refine it down. We didn't know what a lookalike audience was, and if we didn't know how to get anything to them, that didn't cost a fortune. So technology and crunching data is a game changer. Let me see here. There's a handful of these questions. Find one. Oh, Brian, this is so important. We live in a world today, when we first got in the business years ago, recommendations from neighbors. People say, who have you? Anybody ever heard this one? Who you done work for? You got a list? Yeah. And it's only people that hate us. No, it's only people that love us. So here's the list. What good is that? We tried to work it out, didn't we? But then something came along called online reviews. They are the new reference from the neighbor. They can make and break a company. Absolutely. Brian, I want you to refer to this question, but I also want you to tag on. So I'm going to give you the question first. Can you really get reviews by just asking for them? We'll start with that.